In the top stories, Skillet continues restoration efforts following Frigate Bay substation fire. Monstrations voting for a new government today, and Israel accuses 6 Al Jazeera journalists in Gaza of being Palestinian militants. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Thursday, October 24th, 2024. I'm Scotty Sia Hendrickson. Nationally, after reports of an electrical fire at their Frigate Bay substation on Wednesday, the St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited is continuing restoration in the affected areas. Sometime after 5 p.m. Wednesday, the company issued a statement on Facebook informing the public of a fire at the St. Christopher Club substation that left St. Christopher Club Gardens, and Rock Lobster without electricity. Restoration efforts began, and around midnight, Skillet said that power was restored to sections of St. Christopher Club Gardens, and Ocean's Edge office, as crews had worked for approximately 9 hours, focused on the restoration at that time. In a video, engineering manager Jonathan Kelly spoke from the scene of the incident.
We want to apologize for this inconvenience. While the root cause has not yet been determined, a full investigation will ensue, and we ensure that we will then be able to restore your power as quickly as possible and as safely as possible, most importantly.
Restoration efforts are expected to continue throughout the day. As the government continues to focus on providing a regular and constant supply of water, preparations are underway to commission one of 2 desalination plants in a month's time. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew hinted at this during Tuesday's edition of The Edge on ZIZ. Water is life, the Prime Minister said, while speaking of other measures to improve water quality and water supply. This plant was donated through the UAE's Caribbean Renewable Energy Fund, with the other destined for Nevis. It is expected that the plant will produce up to 76,000 gallons of water daily if ran for 24 hours. The electricity needed to power the desalination plant is expected to be generated on-site from solar PV panels during the day, while the St. Kitts Electricity Company will power it at night. The Abu Dhabi Future Energy Company, Masdar of Abu Dhabi, UAE, has been appointed as the project manager implementing agency. On Muson of France and its main local subcontractor, Kelly Construction, have been selected as the successful contractors for the project. The budget for each plant is approximately US $1.1 million. The UAE will train Water Services Department staff to operate and maintain the plant for approximately 3 months. 4 acres of land at Canada Estate were earmarked for its construction, although the actual plant would utilize less than 1 acre. Transglobal Engineering Limited, a local company, undertook the necessary environmental impact assessment study, which the Development Control and Planning Board has approved. The official groundbreaking ceremony occurred at Canada Estate on March 18, 2024. On October 18, 2024, a Memorandum of Understanding was signed between the Government of St. Kitts and Nevis, represented by the Ministry of Education, and the Open University of Tanzania. This initiative, described by Minister of Education Dr. Jeffrey Hanley as, quote, game-changing opportunity, provides scholarships for educators to pursue bachelor's and master's degrees in education. The MOU was signed during a virtual ceremony by Dr. Hanley and OUT Vice Chancellor Professor Eliphas Tozo Bizanda, with attendance from key officials, including Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Lisa Pestana, along with Ms. Dorothy Warner, Secretary General of the St. Kitts and Nevis National Commission for UNESCO, and Dr. David Doyley, Ambassador of St. Kitts and Nevis to UNESCO. The program aims to enhance the qualifications of teachers, with an initial cohort of 20 teachers expected to enroll in the bachelor's degree program, potentially expanding to 80 educators in the coming years. Dr. Hanley highlighted the initiative as crucial for improving teacher qualifications and addressing educational challenges, particularly for the predominantly female teaching workforce. He emphasized that the successful completion of these programs will significantly enhance the academic standards in St. Kitts and Nevis. Ms. Warner noted the essential role of education in transforming the country's economy, while Ambassador Doyley underscored the MOU as a model for successful international educational collaboration. Professor Bisana confirmed OUT's capability to provide flexibility, accessible education globally, further enhancing opportunities for island states. In regional news, demonstrations are going to 17 polling stations across this volcano-ravaged British overseas territory on Thursday to elect a new government. The Electoral Council of Montserrat said that the polling stations, which opened at 7 a.m. local time, will close 11 hours after allowing for 3,464 registered voters to cast their ballots for the 34 candidates contesting the 9 seats in the Legislative Assembly. 3 former government leaders are among the candidates representing the 4 political parties and 6 independents. Former Chief Minister and Premier Reuben T. Meade has returned from retirement to lead his newly formed United Alliance, while Premier Eston Taylor Farrell is part of the Dr. Samuel Joseph-led Incumbent Movement for Change and Prosperity Party, while the People's Democratic Movement, led by Paul Lewis, includes former Premier Donaldson Romeo, who had contested the 2019 poll as an independent candidate. The other party in the race is the Karen Allen's Positive Progress for People. 9 seats are up for grabs in the Legislative Assembly, with 5 seats needed for a majority to form the next administration. 2 other uncontested seats, the Attorney General and the Financial Secretary, will make up the 11-member Legislative Assembly. In other regional news, tragedy struck in Georgetown on Wednesday when 2 young children lost their lives in a devastating fire that consumed their home around midday. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force confirmed they are actively investigating the cause of the fire. In a statement, the police force expressed their deepest condolences to the grieving family and assured the public that a thorough investigation is underway. No other casualties were reported, and authorities plan to conduct a postmortem to determine the exact cause of death. The identities of the victims have not yet been released. In international news, the Israeli army on Wednesday accused 6 Al Jazeera journalists covering the war in Gaza of also being current or former paid fighters for Palestinian militant groups. Al Jazeera rejected these claims. Israel cited documents in perpetually found in Gaza and other intelligence it gathered in making the accusation against the journalists, all of whom are Palestinian men. It said 4 have affiliated with Hamas and 2 with Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Al Jazeera said the accusations were, quote, fabricated and, quote, part of a wider pattern of hostility, end quote, toward the Pan-Arab network. It said the claims were, quote, a blatant attempt to silence a few remaining journalists in the region, thereby obscuring the harsh realities of the war from the audiences worldwide, end quote. The Associated Press has been unable to independently verify the authenticity of the documents Israel posted online to support its claims. In other international news, Hurricane Christy intensified into a powerful Category 4 storm in the Pacific Ocean on Wednesday, with forecasters predicting it will remain away from land as it moves westward. As the latest update, Christy was located 710 miles southwest of the southern tip of Mexico's Baja California Peninsula, moving west at 20 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 150 miles per hour, just below Category 5 strength, according to the National Hurricane Center. While there are no coastal watches or warnings in effect, the NHC warned that waves generated by Christy could impact the western Baja coast later this week, potentially causing life-threatening surf and rip currents. Christy first formed as a tropical storm off Mexico's southern Pacific coast on Monday and strengthened into a hurricane on Tuesday. Further strengthening is expected through Thursday, followed by a gradual weakening starting on Friday, forecasters said. The storm is projected to stay over open waters, posing no immediate threat to land. In the Atlantic, Hurricane Oscar dissipated on Tuesday after making landfall in Cuba as a Category 1 hurricane earlier this week, causing flooding and power outages across the island. And now for the weather. Present weather is partly cloudy skies. The temperature today is 32 degrees Celsius or 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are a light breeze of 6 miles per hour from the northeast. Seas are 0.9 to 1.5 meters or 3 to 5 feet. Weather forecast for today predicts partly cloudy and hazy with a 40% or moderate chance of showers. Tonight will be partly cloudy and hazy with a 60% or moderate chance of showers. Sunset today will be at 5:43 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:07 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Scotticia Hendrickson. Good